You ain't no but a hound dog, a tiny little frail. Oh, shucks, look at that little fella.
So, Hound was an interesting fella, huh? If you watched the three-part pilot for the G1 cartoon, you'd have thought Hound was all set to be the main link between the human characters and the Autobots. He instantly sparked up a friendship with Spike, and they had some really meaningful bonding time. Oh, not like that. By the time the show was greenlit, however, Hound's role was replaced with franchise mainstay Bumblebee, due to reasons. Funny to think there's probably a universe out there where Hound became the main character in the Transformers franchise, and everyone was always talking about how good the Hound movie was. Regardless, Hound still stuck around for the remainder of the G1 show, with his projected holograms often being used to distract the easily fooled Decepticons. This is something that Mirage from Rise of the Beasts has now stolen. Hound just has no luck. Holograms, they were his thing. Mirage's gimmick was being able to go invisible. My inner G1er has been triggered, and I'm boycotting Rise of the Beasts. Oh, you didn't think I noticed that you stole Jazz's alt mode too, Mirage? If that's even your real name. Ah, only kidding. How good was that movie? Seeing Unicron in live action gave me such a raging nostalgia boner. My underpant elastic snapped, and my pants were fired across the cinema as my engorged Jimmy acted like a fleshy trebuchet. Anyway, Hound even made an appearance in the 86 movie. What's that? No, he didn't? As per usual, you're so wrong. Hound was on the shuttle that brought Optimus to the ravaged Autobot city. You can see him for about 17 frames before Stan Bush's The Touch starts in all its glory, and Optimus sets off on his death run to stop Megatron. At least Hound's involvement in the movie was less traumatising than Wheeljack's. Why you gotta kill my boy off screen like that? Man, that movie had more unexpected deaths than house calls from Dr. Harold Chipman's general practice. So this here is Transformers the movie Hound. Can you see anything a bit different about him? He's short? Well, yes. Anything else? What's with his tiny arms? Well, this Hound is a reissue of his G1 toy, decked out in cartoon-accurate colours. This means this mould is roughly the same age as me, and I'm a right old decrepit bastard. Despite his age, Hound is looking smashing. He's displaying some classic Transformer fashion with his Jeep bonnet uniboob and blatantly on-show tyres. His wee head sculpt is a bit nondescript though, looking rather generic and quite youthful, like Hound is in his teens. Best not show him to Philip Schofield then. It's not terrible by any means, but it doesn't really capture the battle-weary fella we knew from the G1 cartoon. The proportions in Hound are a bit all over the place as well. His Jeep bonnet uniboob is massive in comparison to his tiny prehensile arms. Hound definitely would have trouble wiping his own butt. These arms are so ineffectual, poor Hound can't even lift his gun above waist height, meaning he'd have trouble shooting the Decepticons anywhere but their shins. I don't understand these feet as well. It looks like they should end here, and then he's standing on a wee green box. Given his diminutive stature, Hound kinda needs the extra height. Articulation in Hound is pretty non-existent. He's more of a brick than a rectangular piece of clay that's been hardened in a kiln and then used in the construction of a house. He's more of a Hound statue than anything else. I defo mind him being able to do more when I was a wee fella, but after years of heavy drinking, my memories of my traumatic childhood have been rendered hazy at best. It does make me feel a bit bad for complaining about the lack of articulation in modern toys, like Rumble's missing elbows. I mean, compared to Hound, Rumble's level of articulation puts him up there with one of those bendy, contortionist women I like to look at on the internet. The paint job in Hound is pretty stunning at least. He's just the right shade of forest green, and the little yellow highlights are quite fetching. I don't want to seem so negative about this wee fella. Hound is a classic. A piece of what made the Transformers so special in the 80s. Of course, 40 years of engineering advancement is going to produce more complex toys, but Hound is truly one of the first. A pioneer, if you will. Comparing Hound to modern figures is like comparing 80s wrestling to modern wrestling. Back in the 80s, Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior did about 3 moves each, and the crowd went wild for it every time. Now, if folk don't see power bombs, German suplexes, a shooting star press, and fellas going headfirst through 20 tables, a match is considered boring. Like Hogan and the Warrior, Hound makes the most of his limitations and still feels special 40 years later. Some modern toys have so many gimmicks and clever engineering, yet they end up feeling soulless. I'm looking at you, Springer, you green fuck. The true highlight of this toy is the vehicle mode. In just a few simple steps, Hound's monolithic robot mode becomes this amazing wee army jeep. Wow, this is so good. The alt mode crushes most modern Transformers offerings with its quality feel, die-cast metal weight, rubber tyres, and excellent attention to detail. You can't help but roll this about like you're a 5-year-old again. Look at these wee adjustable seats. Cute. Look at this wee adjustable windscreen. Super cute. Look at this wee engine block and winch. It's so cute, I might just have to sacrifice another virgin to my slumbering king. Although the robot mode accessories have no place to be stored here, and the vehicle accessories are completely different bits, no wonder I lost all these as a child, I don't mind. It's just impossible to hate this sweet wee fella. So, should you get Transformers the Movie Hound? If you want a Transformer with awesome articulation and a mind-bending transformation, I'd say no. Hound doesn't fit with any of today's mainline bots. He's small, out of proportion, and has as much articulation as a block of cheese. However, if you want a toy that will trigger that sense of wonder and joy you felt when you first held a Transformer as a child, Hound is a must-buy. This is what collecting is all about after all, attempting to recapture the feeling of infinite possibilities and joyous wonder before we all realised we're pretty much doomed to a life of mediocrity on a largely uncaring planet hurtling through a cold and dark universe. Hound is like a warm hug from someone you love. It's a whisper in your ear that the world isn't such a bad place. A reminder not to let that childlike wonder be crushed by the weight of the world. Hound is basically an antidepressant in the form of a robot Jeep man. In my book, that makes this guy more than worth it. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Catch you later.